How are we? Better late than never. I'm a bit late this morning. Just had one of them mornings. Manic. Lots of bits and pieces to do. Trying to tick off admin. I get quite a lot of admin that comes in over the weekend. I don't really work over the week. Well, I said I don't really work over the weekend. I work till sort of mid-afternoon, actually, on Saturday. And then yesterday, I just write my newsletter out and ping it out while I'm sat on the sofa. Other than that, I try and take a bit of time off. Saturday evening, all day Sunday, I try and take a bit of time, a bit of a step away from my clients and stuff like that, just because you need a bit of a chill, don't you? And I just have loads of bits and pieces coming in over the weekend. Still mega busy. Lots of people signing up. So thank you very much if you are coming on board. Mega busy, taking lots of new clients on, which is superb. So I've just booked a few of those in, a few of the bits and pieces. We've got the challenge starting a week today, so a few questions about it. Anyway, and then a couple of other bits and pieces, but it's all good. I will never ever whinge about being busy. But yeah, just a bit late this morning. I'm like, crying out loud. And then I've got to get the dogs to the dog groomers for 9:30. So I am coming off 5 minutes early. The dog groomers is literally round the corner. I'd normally walk them there, to be fair, but I'm not going to. I'm going to pick them up and walk them back as long as it's dry. But this morning I'm going to drop them off, and then I'll be shooting off over to the gym, and that's right. Really, I've not even put a hat on this morning. That's how all over the place I've been. I feel like I have got marks all over this too, and it's clean. But I think it's because I literally chucked it on the back of something the other day because I was doing it, and it's just a bit of dust. Anyway, how are we all? It's a brand new weight loss week. It's a brand new month. It's the month of spring. It's not quite spring yet. I don't know when does spring officially start. I'm going to guess like the 21st of March. I have no idea when it is. There'll always be an official date. But I always feel we're out of winter when we get into March. Like, I don't know what you classes winter. I class winter as December, January, February, right? And then spring, I class as March, April, May. Summer's June, July, August. And then autumn's like September, October, November. I know it doesn't quite fall like that because November generally feels like winter. And bloody August can feel like autumn at times, can't it? But anyway, do you know what I mean? Anyway, we get into March. The nights definitely lighter. The mornings are lighter. Daffodils knocking about. All that jazz. It's just the weather's definitely. I've got an electric heater, and like I come in here in January. In January I was coming in and turning it on, and the temp was 3 degrees. 3 degrees at the start, and then it's got to build up from there. Coming this morning, the temp was 10 degrees. It's getting better. It is definitely getting better. Yasmin, good morning on YouTube. Anyway, hope you've all had, I'll do top 5 on TikTok shortly and then go through that as well. Hope you've all had a great weekend, whatever you've been up to. What have I been up to this weekend? It's been fairly chill, I think. And actually, quite a productive day yesterday. We're clearing out the old RLB office. I was going to do it on, my plan actually this weekend was spinning Saturday morning, get home, walk the dogs, blitz the old RLB office, clear it out, do a tip run, and then we're at our friend's Saturday night, bit of a chill there. And then yesterday was just get the dogs to the beach and then just plant my house on the sofa. I was absolutely knackered on Saturday. Like I just said to Rachel, I said, I can't, I'm happy doing dog walks. I can't, like mentally, I was mentally knackered, not physically, I was fine, but mentally, I was like, I can't be bothered sorting out the office today, going through paperwork, loading up boxes, going to the tip, and all this like that. I'm going to do it tomorrow morning because the weather said it was going to be, we couldn't go to the beach because the tides didn't work out. So I had a right nice chill day Saturday. Went to our friend's house Saturday night, had a few Madri Zeros, bit of pizza, a few crisps, nice catch up there. And then yesterday morning, got up, blitzed the office, did a tip run, went and did a bit of shopping. And then, planted my bum on the sofa all afternoon, couple of dog walks. Didn't quite get to the 11,000 steps. I will discuss that tomorrow in this week's weekly weight loss vlog. But Why did I get to 11,000 steps this week? Spinning. I was spinning last week loads. I had 5 spin classes rather than my normal 2. And the days I spin, I don't do the cross training in the gym. So I missed out on, I didn't cross train Monday or Wednesday, which I normally would. So anyway, there we go. That's it. Right, let's do top 5 on TikTok this morning. Let's see who's in. Let's see who's knocking about. Let's see how everyone's weekends have been. Callum's in at 1, Miss Robbie's in at number 2, Michelle's in at number 3, Cheryl's in at number 4, and Maureen is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. You're my top 5 this morning. Thank you very much for jumping straight to the live. Coming and saying hello. Faye's in, Kelly's in. Faye, I've not got back to you. I will recalculate your calories for you. I'll do it today. Kelly C's in, Lynn's in. Good morning. Jan's in as well. Katie, Lita, good morning, good morning, good morning. Nelly News in, good morning. Mark's in. First weigh-in for me post Tenerife. Been on it since Wednesday. Only 2.3 kilograms. Oh, well, that is definitely a win, mate. 5 pounds or just over. Yeah, about 5 pounds. Brilliant, mate. Well done. We love that. Another good week or so, and that'll all be gone. Have you tried the new Perform Sticky Toffee Pud? I'm really in 2 minds about this one. And fire. And fire. Funny you said that. Look what arrived last week in the post. Now, actually, I have tried it. I'll be honest with you, I have tried it before. I bought a sample sachet of it when it first come out, and I needed to order it because I am having a lot more protein. I'm still having my yogurt bowls with protein in, and I'm having 100 grams of. Am I having about 100 grams of protein a day? I am. I'm having about 100 grams. No, I'm having more than that. I'm having like nearly 150 grams of whey protein a day. So these 900 gram tubs are literally getting blitzed in a week. Right, I literally get blitzed in a week. So I've ordered a few different ones. The 900 gram tubs are not as good value as buying the 2 kilo tubs. But when it's flavors that I'm a bit like, flavors that I feel I could probably get a bit bored of quite quickly, I buy them in the smaller tubs. So yes, I've got the stickies, and it is really good. It tastes just like sticky toffee pudding. It's absolutely banging. I've only tried it in yogurt. I'm gonna have it in a shake today. But yes, I have tried it, and yeah, just coincidentally, there is a tub here. Yeah, big order last week. Boss your protein boxes. The release on the 1st of the month, which is yesterday. I've ordered some extra stock this month, so I've done more boxes because they sold out instantly last month. In fact, I didn't even have enough last month to cover all the subscriptions that went through. And I was like, oh. Anyway, luckily, someone had said, can this, and I just ended up refunding them. I just ended up refunding them because they were pausing the subscription anyway. So I just ended up, and they were fine with that. But I have ordered more stock this month. The Boss Your Protein boxes are out. How many are left? 4. I think there's 4 left. That's it. So I've ordered extra stock, and there is still only 4 left. They do go quite quickly, though. They are getting harder and harder to do because obviously they've been $19.99 since I started doing them. 4 years, 3 years. Have I been doing them 3 years, 4 years? I've never changed the price. I've been 20 quid, and obviously the cost of everything's gone through the roof. What I did when I first started doing the boxes, and I did ask this when I changed it, you used to get 12 products. You now get 11. So I did ask everyone about 2 years ago. I said, do you either want me to increase the price to like 22 quid plus postage, or do you want me to just take one product out so you get 11 instead of 12? Everyone said, take one product out, so it's 11 instead of 12. So you still get 11 products, even though everything's gone through the roof. I just don't really make any money off them anymore, but it's absolutely fine. I enjoy doing them, and they're just an extra little bit. I do make a couple of quid, nothing, but it's fine. But anyway, they're out. So there's 4 left. So if you want a Boss Your Protein box, TikTok profile, Facebook page, you get to my link tree, scan down a little bit. It might say pre-order. It's not a pre-order. They're out now. They're ready to go. I will be sending them all off. It won't be today. It will be tomorrow, crew. Oh, yeah, I'm just editing it in the link tree. It says coming soon. I'm just going to edit that to order now. But, yeah, if you want a Boss Your Protein box, got some new products in there. Got a Kinder Bueno, I think, protein bar dupe. which I'm going to try myself today, which looks amazing, and a couple of other. They are a mystery box. I'm like, what's in them? A variety of different proteins, snacks, and bits and pieces. In fact, there's 3 brand new products that have never been out before. Protein products. One from Mars, one from Perform. This brand here. So it's a really, really good box this month. I always say that every month, but yeah, I have a great good scan through. I try and get a good variety. I try and get some new products in there. So if you want to boss your protein box, get one bought. There's 4 left to go. Nick, good morning. And been celebrating my daughter's 40th birthday. Excellent. We love a nice little celebration and happy birthday. Who didn't know about the protein boxes? Well, look, yes, I do every month. You can subscribe and save to save £2, right? So you get 10% off if you subscribe and save, and there's no contract. So subscribe and save £2. If you don't want another one next month, just cancel it. All right, honestly, subscribe and save yourself £2. You don't have to do that, because some people might like, well, no, because then if I forget, I'll automatically get one next month. Yeah, you'll want one next month. They're really good. But if you like your protein bars, your protein snacks, you like to try new products, I try and put new bits and pieces in there when it's released and this, that, and the other. Click on next month's April. As always, I try and theme them when there's a bit of a theme. So April's will be an Easter one. I'm going to try and do an Easter themed box. Oh, someone's just bought one. Thank you very much. There's 3 left. 3 left if you want a Boss Your Protein box. Claire, thank you. Box. So next month's will be an Easter themed box. As best as I like, when I say Easter themed, please don't be like, oh, it's gonna have like just 12 high protein Easter eggs. I wish it worked like that. It doesn't. But generally, most brands tend to bring something out that's a little bit seasonal. And we'll actually have a look at that this week and get the stuff ordered a bit earlier. So it's all good. Claire's bought a nice Claire. Thank you very much. Celebrating my B-Day on Saturday. Happy birthday, Maureen. Got Matilda cake. What a letdown. Could have baked better. Really? I thought they were excellent. Well, I've only tried the Matilda and Friends, which is the Biscoff, the cookies. I mean, it depends how good a bake you are, of course. The Biscoff, the cookie and cream, and the milk chocolate. And I thought they were really, really good. Very moist, very succulent. But I love cake like that. They remind me of, like, I suppose, a cross between like a brownie, like they're very dense, they weigh a ton. So if you're expecting like a fluffy chocolate cake, like an old school, no, they're absolutely dense as they come, thick packed, loads of ganache. But you know, I thought they were really, really good. And I thought that Studio Bakery was just like a big chain that's jumped on the bandwagon to get baked. They're not. They're a little independent bakery up in Clitheroe. They've just managed to get into Tesco. So, sorry you didn't like it. But I've never tried the big slices of that. I've only tried the Matilda and Friends one. So I know they do a few different ones. And I've tried the brownies, and I thought the brownies were really decent. Are they as good as a little brownie? No, little brownies are just the best. They are absolutely the best, you know. But those types of cake, they're oil-based. So that's what you have to, you know, they're not flour, eggs, sugar, like we would do like a traditional cake. They're oil-based, similar to brownies. So they're very, very dense. But I love that. Corey, you said before, but do you have a Perform affiliate code? I do have a code. I'm not an affiliate of Perform. I'm not paid by them. I don't earn any money from it. So if you can find it cheaper elsewhere, everyone asks me, where do you get your protein powder from? Where do you get your protein powder from? I've got a wholesaler. So I've got a wholesale account, business account with someone that sells it direct. So I'm looking. I don't get it miles cheaper than I get these for 18 quid. I'll tell you what I pay for them. I get these for £18 plus VAT. I'm not VAT registered, so I don't get the VAT back or anything. So I pay about 22 quid for a 900, I think, something like that. Maybe £22. My Perform code is Real Loss Boss, all in capitals, and it knocks 25% off. I think it still works. Like I say, I'm not an affiliate. I don't get paid by him. I don't get any commission if you use that code and it goes to the Perform website. I don't get anything back. I'm having a look now to see if it still works. So, do you know what? The prices on the Perform website aren't bad actually. I said they're not bad. Right, they are. So, right. So this is £37.99. This is 38 quid on the Perform website. For the 900 gram, it's 60 quid for the 2 kilo one. And they do a 450 gram as well, which is £24.99. So let me click on the 900 gram. Let me add it to cart. And then let me see if that code works. Real was boss. It does. So it brings it down to £28.50. Oh God. £28.50. All right. So if you can find it and you've got to pay postage and packaging, unless I think if you spend so much, you'll get free postage and packaging. So it's £28.50 with my discount code. So like I say, I pay 22, so it is a bit cheaper. I get it a bit cheaper. So you might be sat there going, well, if you get it for 22, why don't you buy a load? I have thought about it. I have thought about buying it and then stocking it, and then and I'd sell it. I can sell it for 25 quid. I've got no overheads there because just have it stacked up here. And so, but I can't be bothered getting it. I can't. It's just not worth. You've got to sell so many to make it worthwhile, especially with the cost of. I mean, to be fair, with Royal Mail, Tract 48, they charge for up to 2 kilos. So I could post 2 of these off for like £4, £3.55, depending on the size when they're packaged up. So it's not, and I could do it a little bit cheaper for you guys, but. It's not really. It's just not worth the hassle. Anyway, you get it for £28.50. Spend so much on Perform, but have a Google. That's what I say to everyone. Have a Google about and see. There might be some companies where they've got some that are a little bit. This lasts forever. It never goes off. So it might have a bit of a shorter date on it. The date on this is December 27, so it's got a 2-year date on it anyway. So just have a little bit of a Google about. And order it from wherever it's cheapest. Let me say, I have thought about it. Honestly, I have thought about going in and setting up my own supplement business because they're really popular, and it is just. It's the investment. I've got a good platform to sell the stuff. I can put it on my Shopify account, my boss, Real Loss Boss Shopify account. I can just advertise every time I do lives on my Instagram. I can put it out there and sell it. And I have thought about it, doing it as a little side hustle business, but you've obviously got to invest a lot of, I would have to invest a few £1,000 into it to buy all the products. And my little office here would just be absolutely, because they take up quite a lot of space. But I might do. I might look into it. I might order like some pop. I might order 10. I might do. It's something I have thought about. I'll call it Bossy Supplements or Bossy. Well, I've got Bossy Protein, haven't I? So I can put it on the Bossy Protein section of the website, and just say. But like I say, to make £3, you've got to sell a lot to make it worth your while for the effort you'd have to put in. But anyway, there we go. Definitely worth a Google. I got a deal for it on a Skinny Food Co. Yeah, absolutely. Give it a Google. Have a scan through a few sites. And just wherever's like, there'll be certain places that'll have bought it, they don't ship it out. Certain places will sell it cheap. Let me have a little look at what I do actually pay for it. See, I always get my head tweaking. This is where my head goes. I always end up with my head like, ooh, should I, shouldn't I? Like I say, it's just the thing is, it's a case of, you've got to sell to make £100. You've got to sell what? 30 containers of it. That's a lot of selling and a lot of packaging and a lot of posting and this, that, and the other. So you can actually now get Royal Mail just to come to your house. So I pay £18.99 plus that. So it's not that much. So £18.99 times 0.2 plus £18.99. So I get it for £22.79. and you can get it off the Perform website for $28.50. So I'd probably, I suppose, a saving, isn't it? You know, if I sold it at $26.50, it's definitely, well, if people don't know a code and they're paying £38 for it off Perform, but you know, I suppose if I sold it at $26.50, I'm making £3.50 plus postage and packaging. So I might try a few flavors. I might order next time I order some. I might order like 10 tubs of 5 or 6 different flavors that I love, and if no one buys it, at least I've stocked up with protein powder for a long time. Anyway, that's enough talking about protein powders. Weight loss wise, how did last? Morning Sheila, by the way, on YouTube. Morning Victoria on Facebook. How did my last week go weight loss wise? It went pretty decent. Obviously, I'm doing my little thing at the moment, trying to build some muscle alongside losing a little bit of body fat. So I'm in a much smaller calorie deficit. I had my check-in on Friday. I just maintained, which I was quite shocked at. I was expecting another gain. I maintained, but my body fat percentage has dropped 0.1%. So in February, I gained 3.2 pounds in weight on the scales, but my body fat went from 21.7% to 21.4%. So weight's gone up, body fat's come down, and weight's gone up nowhere near what I thought it would go up. So I'm more than happy with that. Have I been as consistent with getting my protein in? Nope. The first week, you know, motivation's high, everything's on it, and I was very, very good. Since then, I've been a bit hit and miss. I'm still getting loads of protein. I'm still getting more than enough protein in for me to personally build muscle, but I'm not quite sticking to me 300 calorie shakes a day. And I think that's probably why my weight hasn't gone up again. So I was meant to be in like a 1,500 calorie a week deficit, and I've probably still been hovering around a 3,000 calorie one, if I'm being honest. So I'm still in a pretty decent deficit, and my counterbalance of being in a slightly bigger deficit is definitely why the scales haven't bumped. It's still my mission this week to get those shakes in and this, that, and the other. But yeah, other than that, this weekend, it was a weird one. Weird weekend. I felt like I've really overeaten, but I haven't. And I think I sort of said, like, last night I went for I wanted a kebab. And I went and got a big chicken doner kebab. And it was a huge thing. It was really, really, but it was absolutely delicious. And loads of chicken, proper chicken breast, doner meat, loads of salad, Turkish bread on the side, which I only ate half of. Put my own light mayo and chili sauce on. But I've been kind of volume eating over the weekend. Like yesterday, I had a 650 calorie yogurt bowl, which is much bigger than I normally have. Then I had a great big chicken, potatoes, and broccoli lunch. And then I had that kebab for tea. And I felt stuffed all day. And I had my 2 shakes as well. So, and it's really weird, the tricks the mind plays on you. Because yesterday, and I did have some chocolate and a few other bits and pieces, which I always do on a Sunday. But like, I'm looking at my calories. So I ended up having yesterday around about 3.5, I think maybe 4,000 calories. So I had a lot of calories because I did tuck into some right good sweet stuff last night. I tucked in some right good sweet stuff last night. I ate an Easter egg. If you want me to confess my sins, how many calories did I eat yesterday? Oh, 3,500. So I ate 3,500 yesterday. But I literally had yesterday. I had a 650 calorie yogurt bowl. I had a 650 calorie lunch, chicken, potatoes, and broccoli. I had a 1,250 calorie kebab at night time. So we're at what there, 2,000. And then I ate an Easter egg, which was 1,000 calories. Yeah, I just ate an Easter egg. Why the hell not? I'll tell you why I ate an Easter egg. Because Rachel shouting at me because we went to the tip. We'd gone to Tesco on Saturday, and we ended up getting her niece and nephew just a couple of Easter eggs. We're going to give them a bit of money as well. Right, so we got 2 Cadbury's button Easter eggs. So it's a Just they were £2.25 on Club Card. It wasn't, they weren't massive. That size Easter egg, which was basically an Easter egg like that and a big bag of buttons, like a giant button, bag of giant buttons in the bottom of it. So they were on the back seat of the car. I hadn't realised it. So I loaded the car up, ready to go to the tip, and I was chucking stuff on the back seat, chucking stuff in the thing. Anyway, when we got home, I chucked a big box of cardboard on top of one of these eggs. So it's like, bloody hell, they were thin. I was like, it's a £2.25 egg. Like, what? And I bloody paid for it anyway. So if I want to crush an Easter egg, I'll go to Tesco now and I'll buy a new one. This and you can't go to Tesco now and buy a new one. We've just gone out. Anyway, I was like, right. So last night, I was like, I've crushed the egg. It's not going anywhere. I was pissed off looking at it. So I either bin it or I flip and eat it. And I ate it. It was just over 1,000 calories with the big bag of buttons. It was absolutely sensational. Straight down my gullet. So I kind of had... I feel like and I haven't overeaten at all. Why have I not overeaten? Because last week I was 188 calories under my ideal deficit. So but I think I just went volume food yesterday, and I ate that egg, and I felt like I ate it like at about 45 minutes after demolishing that massive kebab. And I felt so full, so uncomfortably full. And I hate feeling like that. But anyway, that's how to make an Easter egg disappear. And it was good. Why does Easter egg chocolate, like the chocolate of the egg, why does that taste better than... I always say this. Different Cadbury's Dairy Milk is Cadbury's Dairy Milk. They do not... You make different dairy milk for a Whisper, for a Twirl, for a Flake, for just a normal dairy milk bar. It's all the same. It's just in different shapes. Now, I get with a Whisper maybe because they whip it up and I get they put it into different shapes. Does that alter the flavour? I have no idea, but it's all the same. But the chocolate in an Easter egg is just elite level chocolate. It just tastes amazing. Someone else told me there was a theory behind it or something that they do something different to it. And I'm like, bullshit. There's absolutely no, it's just how big do you think production companies, do you think they have different, do you know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong, they'll have different ones that make like Nestle will have one that makes the chocolate that might make different white chocolates and this, that, and the other. But dairy milk is dairy milk, right? There's no different types of dairy milk, right? So yeah, so anyway, that was it. But it just tasted, it was elite, and I ate it, and it was delicious. So there we go. So yeah, I feel like I have overeaten a little bit, and I feel quite bloated this morning. It's all in my head. I've such many calories. I tell you what is in my head. My hydration's always rubbish over the weekend. Something always drops out. Something always drops out. Over a weekend, we're never... Blossom's asleep. Oh no, she's... I was like, she's staring at me. Are you okay? I thought she was asleep, but with her eyes open, and it was really freaking me out. But no, she's not. She's just staring at me, probably because I'm being dead loud. Anyway, what was I saying? Something at the weekend, our routine drops. Right? It changes completely, doesn't it? Monday to Friday routine and weekend routine are two different routines, and that's where a lot of us struggle to stay consistent with our journey. You know, like we eat differently. You know, what's massively different at a weekend during the week for me? Well, I'm not doing any lives. I'm not really working. It's time off. I've got no major structure. Will tend to be a little bit more like we went around to a friend's house. So Saturday, I end up eating. Normally, these friends we go to, they normally tell us like, "Oh, we're going to do this for supper," or so. You know, like they'll put some. We're going to do some pizzas, or we're going to do pie and peas, or something like that. And we're like, all right, okay, so we'll just have a much smaller tea. On Saturday, I did have a smaller tea. I just had a turkey butty, but I kind of ate quite a lot. They didn't mention anything about food, so I ate that turkey butty, and then I said to Rachel, I said, I'm going to be hungry later if they're not doing anything, and it's very rare they don't. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So Rachel was like, well, just have a yogurt bowl. Have a yogurt, make a whey whip or something like that. That'll fill you up. And then if they do some food, just eat a bit less. Yeah, all right. But anyway, they did end up doing pizza. And I did eat a bit less. I only had 3 slices. But still, I kind of hadn't accounted for it. So I had a few more calories on Saturday as well. But you know, it's just being social, isn't it? Going around somewhere. If we'd not done that, yes, I might have had a slightly bigger tea, but just going around someone's house on Saturday night, I had 4 beers, so that's 300 calories. And then I had 3 slices of pizza, and then a few crisps and nibbles, and a few other bits and pieces. Oh, and a little bit of cake that they put out. So I probably had over 1,000 calories that I wouldn't normally possibly have, and I did kind of account for it, and that's why I reined it in. I was thinking of reining it in a little bit yesterday until I demolished the old Easter egg. But anyway, yesterday we were going in. I was like, oh, I always have a bit of chocolate and some crisps at night time on a Sunday night. It's kind of like a little tradition. I did it at the start of my weight loss journey. I still do it now. And normally it's about 400 calories, one bag of crisps and then 250 calories worth of chocolate. That's kind of where I get to. So, and I was like yesterday evening, I was like, oh, I'm going to be 600, 700, 800 calories under my ideal deficit. No, the Easter egg disappeared. So I ended up quite close. Anyway, but still in my ideal deficit. And yeah, it's just routine out the window a little bit. But one thing always has to drop at the weekend. And at the weekend, I track my calories. My movement's always pretty decent. I still concentrate on protein. They're all things. One thing that drops massively is hydration. I'm rubbish at drinking water. In fact, last night, I downed 2 pints of cordial because I felt really dehydrated. And I'm very much like I'll have a couple of cans of pop or something like that. And I'm just rubbish at drinking my water. If that's the only thing that gives at the weekend, I'm all right with that. That's not going to affect my weight loss journey. It might mean I'm a little bit more bloated on a Monday, but that's fine. I'm smashing my water in today, get my hydration up. This week, it's my first semi-weight loss break of the year. Now, I was going to talk about it this week, but I'm going to do Weight Loss Break live next week. Because my lives are already planned out for this week for the community. What are we doing? Lives for the community this week. If you want to come watch these lives, you need to be part of my one-to-one plan or join my community. And every week in my community, I do weight loss coaching lives that are very specific. The lives that are there to either help approach, mindset, diet, movement elements of your lifestyle. And I do make them very specific to my approach to weight loss. Anyway, tomorrow's Weight Loss Coaching Live is exactly how should you approach the Boss Your Weight Loss plan. Now, whether you're directly on my one-to-one plan and working with me, or you're in my community and I've just sent you my whole philosophies of weight loss, I'm basically going to talk about exactly how you should look at your weight loss over the week, how planning it out, how you should be doing it. But it is going to be more specifically aimed at the plan. All right. And then on Thursday, my live is going to be, it's not just about calories. We get a lot of, do you know what? I kind of get it in a way, right? I kind of get it in a way. So you get a lot of knobs on social media that will come on and go, calorie counting, and all you're doing is eating shit, but less calories. And loads of people will do that calorie counting. I'm not saying they don't, right? What annoys me is the blanketing, right? So every single person that counts calories or every single person that coaches weight loss and calories are part of it, it's this, and they do it on purpose to demonize it and to make it look really stupid. But if you're out there now and you're literally, I used to eat like this, but now from counting calories, your live is not eligible for recommendations and is restricted in. Oh, shut up, TikTok. No one cares, right? Yeah, if you're counting calories, right? And your diet was like this, and now you started counting calories, your diet is exactly the same. A diet is just what you eat on a day-to-day basis. All right. A diet, when you say the word diet, it now automatically reflects to weight loss. It shouldn't. A diet is just what you eat on a day-to-day basis. And if your diet was this, and now you're counting calories, your diet is still this, but you're just eating less of it. Examples, Neil. Right? So you used to have Frosties every day for your breakfast. right? But you used to have a big bowl, you fill it up with Frosties, whack your milk on, smash them in, bang, right? That was your breakfast. Now your breakfast is still Frosties and milk, but you actually weigh out 60 grams and you weigh out 125 ml of milk. Now, that's better calorie control, right? Better portion control. And that's what we need to do to lose weight. But you're still eating like a highly processed, low nutrient dense food. Anything wrong with that? No, in moderation. That's how we have to look at it. It's how all my content, I talk about balance, context. I love sugary cereal. I absolutely love it. I love a bowl of Frosties. But if I ate it every day for breakfast, I'm going to be Hank Marvin an hour later, right? And that in turn is going to lead me probably to snacking mid-morning or being well hungry before lunch, which is dead. It's just torture. It just feels rubbish. It's just so I fuel my body to regulate appetite, as well as I fuel my body for lots of other reasons as well. But I fuel my body for regulating my appetite to stop me feeling hungry, giving me more energy and this, that, and the other. Big yogurt bowls or high protein breakfasts, alongside high fiber and this, that, and the other. So, and Frosties are never going to do that, right? Now, if you enjoy a bowl of Frosties, I love Crunchy Nut cornflakes, absolutely love them. And if I have a sugary cereal for breakfast, I have it once a week, right? Used to have it every day. Now I have it once a week. Nothing wrong with that. And that's context. And if you eat a highly processed, low nutrient dense sugary cereal once a week for your breakfast, and your other 6 breakfasts, if you eat breakfast every day, is nutritionally dense, full of protein, full of fiber, full of volume, there's no issues whatsoever. All right. But there are people that aren't changing their diet. They're still eating foods that aren't health promoting, aren't nutrient dense, aren't helping to regulate appetite. They're just eating less of the I don't like demonizing food. I never will do, right? But we have to accept certain foods are low in nutrition, certain foods are high in nutrition, right? And if your diet is, even if it's calorie controlled, is predominantly full of foods that are low in nutrition, high in saturated fats, high in sugar, low in volume, you're not going to stick to your diet very long, because eating less of that ain't going to happen, because it promotes hunger, right? And this is the issue with your UPFs, your ultra processed foods. It's amazing. I put a post on last week or the week before saying there is an irrational fear around ultra processed food. It triggered so many people. That is a ridiculous statement. People getting really angry about it. Let me just clarify an irrational fear. If you think having a couple of slices of white bread is going to give you cancer, it doesn't. And that's an irrational fear, right? If you think eating sugar is going to give you diabetes, how many people, just be totally honest, right? Be totally honest with yourselves. And a lot of you guys might follow me on a regular basis. Your mindset might be much better than this. But how many of you you might be watching this back, Facebook, YouTube later on. How many of you genuinely think sugar gives you diabetes? Right? How many of you? That's what we've been led to believe over the years, that sugar is the cause of diabetes. Sugar has never given one person on this planet diabetes. It hasn't, right? I used to think it did years ago, right? Before I did my qualifications, became a personal trainer, did all the research that I did, I used to think it did. I used to think sugar, diabetes. I'd like, what's this going to get, what do you get from a full fat can of Coke? Diabetes. No, you don't. Right? Think about it logically. Runners, right? Even amateur runners. I've got a mate of mine, he does these ultra marathons, right? He literally takes these gel pouches like that when he does his ultra, and he has them in a little, like, he'll have them in his little pockets in his pants or whatever. And everything's like pure sugar, banging it in. And then, and 10, 15 minutes later, if he's having a bit of a crash, pure sugar, banging it in. Fit as a fiddle, right? Absolutely fit as a fiddle. How can he be banging pure? And someone's like, well, because he's an ultra runner, he's this, that, and the other, he's the other. Sugar, if it's going in your body and you're using it in excessive amounts, And then people will go, well, he's burning that sugar. It's glycogen that just goes into your system. It's still a ridiculous amount of sugar going in. It's still spiking his blood sugars up all the time, right? You know, the human body is very, very clever in some ways, but it's not clever going, oh, this person's a runner, so I won't give them diabetes. This person isn't a runner, so I will. Honestly, logically, it doesn't make sense. But so many people are scared of so many different foods nowadays. And literally, and these people are going, it's a joke. I work in the industry. When I say I work in the industry, I literally am involved in health, fitness, and lifestyle, whatever you might want to call weight loss. That's my job. What is my industry? Health, fitness, weight loss, right? The health industry, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm a personal trainer, right? I'm officially a level 3 nutritionalist. If I get my arse into gear, I'll be a level 4 one, right? But that's my, like, that's where I'm at, right? That is, but I literally, I work with clients. I you know, on a day-to-day basis, I post lots of content. I see all the weight loss information all over social media. I work in gyms. I coach fitness. I teach fitness classes. You know, I work in the industry that's around weight loss, you know, just like someone that works for Slimming World as I work in the weight loss industry. Right? I've done that for 8 years now, but I post a lot on social media. And that means you are, you know, across all platforms on social media, I've got over 350,000 followers. So you interact with a lot of people. You see lots and lots of comments, you know, and that's where I make my basis from, because I'll post, well, even posted like the Jason's protein sourdough yesterday, which is just, it's an unbelievably nutrient dense bit of food. And you've still got people on there. Absolutely. How many ingredients has it got? What's this? What's the preservative? What's the? It's an irrational fear, right? Because even if I said, you know, it's got this in it, people go, oh my God, you know what? That's a natural plant extract. It's soluble fiber. Why are you scared of it? It's vitamin C. Why are you scared of vitamin C? Because it's a big word. They don't just write vitamin C. No, they don't. They have to write the scientific term, ascorbic acid. Right, aka vitamin C. That's your preservative in your white bread. And it's like, oh my God, if you went through the ingredients list and instead of it saying niacin, it said vitamin B, instead of it saying preservative, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, but they can't do, they have to write the official term of what, you know, of what it is if it's broken down, you know. Anyway, I've got to go. I could sit here and talk about it for absolutely hours, but there is an irrational fear behind it. And unless you interact with as many people as I interact with, you're probably not going to see it, right? You know, anyway, I'll go into it later on. Send your message, Neil, but I fell off the wagon this weekend. Kind of disappointed myself. Lou, I'll get back to you. I've seen it. I'll try and do it in the next hour. If not, it will be early afternoon. But I've seen it. Don't panic. You can't fall off a wagon. I'll tell you why, Lou. All right? I'll tell you why. I've changed gyms and it's given me a new motivation. Can definitely happen. Can definitely, yeah, it can be a good one. I had a mini Easter egg on Saturday. It's been in the cupboard from last Easter. It's my birthday, so I didn't count it anyway. John, sounds amazing. I just love an Easter egg, honestly. Right, guys, I've got to go. I've got to go get the dogs to the dog groomers. I know this has been a bit of a shorter one, especially for a Monday. I'll be back this evening. Right, I'll be back 7, 8 o'clock. See what time I can get here later on this evening. But I will be back later on this evening, and we'll do a full hour later on. Have a great Monday. It's a new weight loss week, new set of calories in the bag, step count 0. Get out of here, lay the foundation. A good Monday will lead to a good Tuesday, and so on for most of us. All right. I'm having a weight loss break this week. I'll talk about it later on this evening when I'm back. But have a great Monday. TikTok, sign off to you first. Facebook and YouTube, I will sign off to you second. Have a great day. And if you're free, I'll see you later on. Yeah, today.